of transparency. So thank you so much about it. And you may be wondering why a person from Costa Rica is having such a great advice for you all. So basically, I am a therapist, I am an HR professional, I am a career coach and a speaker. Soon I want to be a writer. Well, I have many hats around my career, and something that it is really nice is that because of my parenting, the parenting style of my parents, I can tell you that I was kind of promoted to be a disaster at some point. It was very hard for me, and I was growing up very lonely. I am only child. And I experienced violence at some point in my life, like many different situations. And what I found out is that around my life, the only way I can feel that I have success or I can do something that is even better than the person who I am is having a good job opportunity or having a job or whatever possible, right? So I graduated as a therapist, but I realized that I was broken and I was kind of, okay, this is not working for me because I cannot help others without be repaired, let's say, right? So I was really looking for a job opportunity like years ago, and I'm going back years ago because I have a few lessons that I want to share with you today regarding job seeking and also how you can give others in so many ways, even though you feel you have nothing to do. So basically, my first job opportunity came across my life just because I was receiving constantly feedback of not having enough work experience. And every single person was telling me that. I was kind of seriously, I was graduated from my bachelor's degree. I was ready to join the workforce, and every single person was telling me you don't have enough work experience. So I decided to take a look into an ad, and that was an internship. I decided to go into that office and say, look, if you want me to be here, I can be even here for free. Okay, that's okay for me. I can be here for free if it's needed. I just need experience, and you need somebody that can help you. Okay, it is a good match. Okay, sounds good. And they say yes, and that was the most beautiful scenario in my life after a year knocking doors to find something. And I can tell you, I was destroyed. My self-esteem was really down. I was completely devastated. But at the end of the day, I jumped there and I was like, okay, if I don't try this, I will be suffering so much for the rest of my life because I wasn't able to get a job opportunity. So they say yes. After 2 months to be working without payment, believe me, completely legal, they took advantage, whatever you can tell me. But I was getting what I needed, and was the work experience, right? So I got this opportunity, and the first lesson and the first advice that I want to share with you is here, the feedback people is giving to you. Sometimes we ask for feedback, but sometimes we are kind of, yes, I received feedback. So yes, what I'm gonna do with these now? And it's so important to hear it, listen to that, and just do something about it. And my decision was to go there and just do it, right? So after 2 months, I was overseeing 6 people in the department, and that opened a huge door for me to just moving forward into my career. Of course, after 4 months, I needed to find a real job opportunity, but that opened me a door that was amazing. And one of their clients asked me to join their company. So I moved to this other company. I was the head of human resources there, 5 restaurants, 1 hotel boutique, was big. And I was growing super fast. But you know what? There is the second lesson and the second advice I want to share with you today. So my second advice is that I was there. I was doing almost all things possible to be able to perform. But I realized that because I did not have enough experience, I wasn't able to do even more than I wanted to do. So I was kind of, boss, I love my job. I love what I do. But you know what? I don't have the experience to get into the next level. And I need to recognize that. So sometimes when you're working, it is so important to realize when you have your weaknesses and how you can work together to go through that process as well. So my boss told me, you know what, Monica? I know a person that works in hospitality that can be your mentor. And you know what? That person was unemployed because the hotel she was working with decided to not continue with the contract. So she was unemployed. She had a lot of things to pay. She had 2 kids, but that time her husband was not working. They really needed something. And because I raised my hand and say, hey, I'm not ready for this, that person was ready to help me. So she received that income, I received that support, and we worked together to put our company in another position. Together was not me alone. And I raised my hand and I say, hey, I need help. So it is so important for you all that when you are in that situation, you raise your hand and just admit that you have a weakness, and it's okay. It doesn't matter. I took the risk because my boss maybe could say, you know what? That's good. I will hire somebody else that can bring the knowledge that you are admitting you don't have. But I was confident enough that we can work together towards that. And I knew that even though I don't have some experience, I can bring something else to the table that was important for my company by the time. So what I can tell you is that she was so happy to have this opportunity because she was such a great professional. And we worked together, and she was admiring me because I was at 9 p.m. going to have her mentorship classes into her house or a coffee or any place possible after around 14 hours of being working for this company, right? So that was crazy. But she saw something on me. So she recommended me to another company. So it's when I moved to Four Seasons. And I'm telling you this whole story because there is a lot of lessons that I want to share with you today. So I moved to Four Seasons, and she had the opportunity to get a new job opportunity, and she is performing really good right now. She is a regional director now, but it's that kind of people that you can connect with over your career, the ones that will be supporting you no matter what for a long period of time, right? So I joined Four Seasons, and the first thing that I received on my first day is, oh my gosh, you need to send this email. Okay, perfect. I will send this email. It should be in English. Really, in English? Oh my gosh, I'm starting freaking out, right? So I'm like, okay, that was in Costa Rica still. I'm like, okay, so nobody told me I need to be a bilingual speaker, but okay, let me try. So I tried to write this email, and my boss was completely frustrated. And she's like, oh my gosh, move on. I will write this email for you. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I already quit my job, and right now I am in this situation. And they told me, you need to be bilingual for this position. You need to do something about it. So there is my third advice around receiving feedback and work towards your weaknesses. So I realized I have this weakness, and I'm like, okay, I need to do something about it. So I started to study English at 3 a.m. every single day on an online course for 3 hours during the morning, 3 hours during the evening, to be able to catch up with my English skills and be able to survive to that situation. So after 6 months, I can tell you that I was improving, but also I can tell you that people can be super rough with you. And even though most of my colleagues were Latin Americans, they were laughing at me. I was in management meetings, and they were like kind of enjoying the moment when my voice was broken because I was so nervous that I could not speak in English, and I was learning something new, and it was a shame, but I needed to survive that barrier. I'm like, okay, everybody needs to learn something new. I'm learning something new. I need to admire that and just move on, okay? So that was the way I survived to that environment, but that is a good lesson for we all. And even though you accept your weakness and you're working towards this, you will find people that will laugh at you, that will make you pulling down, that you make me like feel sad, disappointed, not having support, whatever you can tell. But you will find a few ones that will be able to support you and will be super nice, kind as this tribe, right? And that is the confidence you need to have, and focus your attention just on that positive side of life, because many people will be trying to pull you down, and it will be kind of, okay, if you put your attention into that part, it will be horrible for you. Believe me, if I will put attention to that 20 managers that were laughing at me and what made me feel like, oh my gosh, you did horrible. As soon as I get out of that meeting, I have a few ones telling me, oh my gosh, you pronounce that word really bad. I'm like, okay, how do you pronounce it? This is the correct way to pronounce it. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I accept your feedback. Let's move on. So as far as my experience, then I felt that I was ready for something else, right? So I applied for this position of learning and development manager. And what happened is that it was quite interesting, because my boss told me that I cannot apply for the position because of two things. First of all, my English level, and the second one was because I was not able to be a mentor for others. I was kind of, okay, two things. The first one is my English, even though 90% of the population of the hotel was Spanish speakers, I was declined for that position because my English level. And the other one is because I'm not a mentor. Okay, perfect. I will go through these. Okay, so they allowed me to apply for a position in Miami. So I went to Miami, I dressed up pretty well. I was going inside that Four Seasons in Miami around Brickell. I was super excited about it. And I went there and they say, oh my gosh, you did an amazing interview. I was super happy about it. I went back to Costa Rica. I was happy in Costa Rica waiting for a response. They decided to don't hire me. Congratulations, Monica. You did not get that position. Okay, nice. Kelly, I was one of those at that time that I was completely disappointed. So I was kind of, okay, let me think about what I'm gonna do now. So ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that even though they told me I was not ready for an English speaker role 100%, I am extreme when I take the feedback, and they told me you need to practice more English. So what did I do? It was just taking a plane, go to the US, and decided to move to the US to be able to practice my English in a 100%. Completely extreme, okay? But I needed to feel my self-confidence on the top, knowing that it is something that I can do. And this is my advice to you, and I think that is the number 4 advice that I have for you today. You need to respect yourself. And when you believe you have the skills to do something, do it. No matter what. If somebody is letting you know, oh, you know what? I believe that you are not this. I think you're not enough to do this. Just avoid that comments, because if you feel, and it's a gut feeling you have that you can do it, it's because you can do it. So respect yourself enough to be able to just surpass that, and just think about that is one comment around an entire world, an entire population. I don't know how billion people we are in a world. And just because one person is telling you you are not ready, that doesn't mean you are not. Maybe on that environment, on that specific situation, for that specific workforce. But that doesn't mean that another company will not see the skills you currently have. So that is the number 4 advice for today. Respect yourself as much as you can, and show yourself that you can do it. Don't wait until somebody tells you, you know what, you're ready. No, you feel you're ready, go for it, okay? So I was kind of ready for that, and I told to myself, you know what, I will do it. So I sold my car, I had some bills to pay, I was just kind of trying to figure it out how to move to the US. And I sold even the trash containers at home. I was kind of, okay, this is $2, this is $4, this is $5. Okay, do you want the mattress? Okay, take the mattress. Do you want the bed? Okay, let's do it. So I was selling everything possible in my house. I sold my car, I sold everything, and I moved to the US. Of course, I do not have my paperwork, so I cannot work in the US, but I was willing to give it a try. So I arrived to Miami, and my focus was to practice English. So, you know, most of you, I guess, live in Miami. I'm arriving to the airport, and this is a really nice guy that is kind of, oye, chica, ¿dónde está tu pasaporte? I'm like, okay, this is Miami airport. oh my gosh, this may not be the best place to practice English for me. And as you can see, my face, I am completely Latin American. So there is no way I can hide I'm Latin American. So every single person that this face, of course, will talk to me in Spanish, not in English. So even though those people were bilingual, all of them were talking to me in Spanish because I am Latin American. Of course, why not? So it was very hard for me to practice English in Miami because everybody speaks to me in Spanish for sure. So I decided to join a English course in Miami. So it was $60 for 4 months. It was amazing. So I was kind of, okay, this is it. I can do it. Okay, let's do it. Meanwhile, I was looking for a job opportunity, and this is where this story turns into something really amazing. So keep your eyes pretty open, okay? So what happened is that my lesson here is that you need to be able to look around you. You need to be aware of your surroundings. And this is my 5 advice for you. Be aware of your surroundings, because when you're self-focusing yourself, you cannot see what is around you. And when you're looking for a job opportunity, when you're trying to fight against the world because you want to do something, you forget that there is a world around you that may need something that you don't know. So that is something that is so important when you are going through a crisis, when you are going through something that is so hard for you to go through and you feel you don't have the skills. But guess what? You have the skills to help others to do something else that you don't know. So that's exactly what happened with me. So even though I was walking like 2 or 3 miles every day just to get into my English classes on the side of Miami, you know, that is not easy. I was living in Miramar by that time. And I was asking for permission to my teachers to be able to go to Brickell or every single possible place to get a job opportunity. So that is something really important. And this is a pause I want to do in my story. If you're looking for a job opportunity, make sure that you go through that software process. There is a lot of artificial intelligence that you need to surpass when you are looking for a job opportunity. So if you're looking for a job, make sure that your resume is matching the job description of that posting, because right now there is a lot of softwares in the industry that are just avoiding you to be seen by the recruiter. So if you apply to a position and your resume is not matching at least in an 80% the words of the job description, the software is just declining you automatically and you are not seen by the recruiter or the company you're applying for. And this is so important. Okay, so that is something that I knew before that, and I knew that if I apply through that process, I will be unable to get a job opportunity, because first of all, the first question they will do about your resume is, do you have work authorization? And my answer, guess what, was no, I don't have work authorization. The second one was, do you need a sponsorship in the future? And guess what? My answer will gonna be, yes, I need a sponsorship in the future. So I will be completely out of that all processes that was what I was applying for. So what I decided to do, it was just print my resume and knocking doors, okay? So I remember the time that I was around Brickell, I took the I-95, of course, in a bus, because I was not driving, I did not have a car. I don't have any idea how to get around Miami or any single place. So I was taking trains, buses, Ubers, whatever possible to get into whatever was needed, if it was printing a resume, going to an interview, whatever possible, right? So at the time, I took the bus, I go to Brickell, and I was looking for a place that I can print my resumes. It was raining, I did not have an umbrella, I was lost, my battery died, and my battery is dying right now in my computer. So give me just 1 second. There is a short pause here.
I just love Monica, like she's just so honest.
Okay, we're here. Okay, so here we are. So basically my battery was dying in my cell phone, and it was kind of, oh my gosh, what I'm gonna do? I don't have my Waze or whatever app possible to be able to find a place where I can print my resume. And I just asked a person like, hey, you know what? I am lost in the middle of Rico. I don't have my battery. I don't have an umbrella. It's raining. I have an interview. So is it possible to help me? You cannot imagine, this guy was super nice with me. He was from Austin. He was a professor from the university. He was going with me with his umbrella to print the resumes and be able to take a taxi to be able to go to my first interview in Miami. Okay. So again, don't feel ashamed. Things happen and you just need to ask for help again. So I was knocking doors, and there is a time also when I remember I left the cell phone in an Uber. So I left the cell phone in the Uber. I don't have any chance to go back home. So I went into that interview. I was still learning English, and the only thing I was in my mind, and funny thing, okay? So I did not know that Diana is a name in Spanish and Diana is a name in English, right? So I was completely ignorant. So I'm in front of this person that will be interviewing me. And this person was kind of, hi, my name is Diana. Please come this way. I'm like, no. My interview is with Diana, okay? No, Diana. And she's like, the interview is with me. I'm like, okay, but my interview is with Diana. And she's like, yeah, it's me, come here. I'm like, okay, it's okay, right? So it was part of that funny things that happen when you are learning a new language, adapting to a new culture. It was pretty funny, to tell the truth. And I was trying to tell her that I lost my cell phone in the Uber, and it was just a mess, right? So I needed to figure it out how to get back home, etc. And I can tell you like 100 more stories about what happened with me around Miami. I got lost around 3 times. It was just craziness around me, right? But during the time of craziness, of being frustrated, of being lost, most of the time I got back home with blisters on my feet. Yes, blisters on my feet, because I was walking on hills around Rico, around Miramar, around, I don't know, Hialeah, every single place possible that I can find a job for me. And it was painful. I cry many times, believe me. Right now you can see me smiling, but I cry many times. It was frustrating. It was really hard to overcome. And I was frustrated. I was kind of, why? If I show I have the skills, everybody is declining me just because I don't have my work authorization. And I can tell you, they don't even need to pay for that, because the work visa that I was applying for, I needed to pay for it as part of the process. It was a J1 visa. So the person who is applying for that internship exchange visa is the one that is in charge of paying everything, but nobody understood that. So it was kind of, no, we don't do that. People got scared as soon they feel they have an undocumented person in front of them, and it's kind of, oh my gosh. I was a tourist. I mean, I was not doing something illegal, but it still was something that scared every single company I was going through. And I can tell you that even with all that frustration, sadness, that feel of I am not enough to be here, I look back to my country, and it's when I can tell you that I was aware of my surroundings, because I realized that in Costa Rica, there were a 14% of unemployment, 14%. It was a lot, and that was before the pandemic. And my heart was melted, for sure. I have the skills to help them. If I not been hired, at least give me the chance to help them. So I did a post on LinkedIn, and I told everybody, like, look, if you are looking for a job opportunity and you are from Costa Rica, let me know. I will select 5 people and I will be able to help you. So I was studying English during the morning, trying to get a job opportunity, plus helping people to get a job opportunity in Costa Rica. And that process was the most amazing process in my life. Why? Because I grow a lot. And I showed myself that I was able to mentor others. Even though I was told I was not able to help others, I was not able to mentor other people, I showed to myself without any other advantage that I can do it. And that was an amazing experience. So I selected 5 people. I started to help them for free. And it was an amazing journey. The most amazing journey that I can share with you, because they were completely devastated as I was. But I cannot share that with them because I needed to support them. I needed to be there for them. So the most important part for me at the time was to be able to push them and get it out. Because if I wasn't able to get a job opportunity, it was because I don't have the paperwork to be able to be in the US. But it was not because I was not good enough. They were in their country. They were citizens. They can do it. So if they have the skills to do it, just do it. And that was the most important part for me. So I started one by one to help them through that process. I made this person that is called Hazen. Hazen was from a rural side of Costa Rica. And he was unemployed for more than 1 year. He had a family, he had a wife. He was completely in bankruptcy. He was sweating every time that he was talking to me because he was frustrated of not knowing what to do and how to support his family. I told him, look, this is a team. It's not only you, this is a team. We can work through this together, okay? So even though I was alone, I was working with him, and they gave me all the energy possible to be able to continue fighting to get a job opportunity in the US. And Hasan got a job offer within a month to be working with me. All he needed was support, was somebody that was right beside him, letting him know that he can do it. And it's when I realized there is a cycle in the job search. And when you're unemployed, there is a lot of disappointing, and then you go to anger, and then you go to sadness, and then you go through depression, because you're kind of, every single day is worse than the last day. It's not better, it's worse. But then you need to, when you go to all the way down of be on depression and be frustrated and be completely down, is when all your resources turn on, and it's kind of, you have just 2 options, fight or just freeze. You have just 2 options. And then you see people freezing when you see people now living in a parking garage, living in their cars, not knowing what to do. They lost everything. They don't know how to restart. And then you can start to be lost. But there is another side of fighting. But to fight, you have just a few key tools to be able to fight against this situation. Self-confidence, feel useful, manage your emotions, and high self-esteem. But the most important is your network and the support you get from others. And that's the reason why I tell you that be aware of your surroundings is the most important part when you're looking for a job opportunity and when you're looking for development, because many people is telling you, you cannot do it. There is not enough. You were bad. You were fired. You are not good. But when you move and turn your eyes to the whole world that is looking for your skills, that appreciate you, that care about you, that is there for you, that is the people that you need to talk to. And that people was there, having confidence on the advice I had to be able to survive to their situation. And there's when I realized, you know what? I'm a good mentor. He got a job in just 1 month, and he was so grateful with me. And I did not charge for that. I did not were looking for approval, or I were not looking for, oh, you see, I'm a good mentor. No, not at all. But it was so rewarding that after around 7 companies that declined my application and say, you know what, we cannot hire you, at least one person tell me, you know what, I'm so grateful that you were here. And you're kind of, at least somebody's looking this. So it was amazing. And I started to help others and others and others. And at the end of the day, it was a total of 9 people during that time frame of 3 months. And what I can tell you is that Hasan was so happy that I helped him, that he told me, Monica, you know what? I will help you to get a job opportunity in Miami. I was so, it was, I need to admit, it was so weird for me because he was coming from a rural side. It was not even suburbs. It was so rural side of my country where employment is very hard. He wasn't able to find a job in 1 year and he wanted to help me to find a job in the US. And I was like, oh, it's okay. If you say so, it's okay. So I sent over my resume. I continue having interviews around the US. I was in a hotel having an interview with a confidential company, and I did not even know if this person is going to be dangerous for me, or then I was offered a fishy job, knocking doors, selling things door to door. Like it was kind of all these situations that could happen with a person that is an immigrant and unemployed and trying to look for something that was professional, because I was looking for something in human resources. So I was disappointed, and I was in my last week in the US as a tourist, and I was packing and I was ready to go back to Costa Rica. I realized that there was no way I can be there. I was disappointed. I was frustrated. I was kind of, God, why you give me all sickness to be here, and later you're just making me go back to Costa Rica without anything else. And I was really disappointed, crying, packing, and ready to go back. And I told my mother, you know what? Can you please open the door for me, because I don't have any place to go. And of course she told me, Monica, yes, for sure. And you cannot believe this, but the 3 days before I need to take my flight back to Costa Rica, I received a call from the company letting me know that I was hired and they will sponsor me, and they were happy to give me the opportunity. Guys, the reason why this company hired me is because Hasan from Costa Rica sent my resume to a colleague, a person that he helped to get a loan for a company that is based in Miami. They gave me the chance to go through an interview. They did not have an HR person in the company. I was there. I had the interview. They interviewed me. I got the job, and it was the most amazing situation I was in. I was crying for 2 hours. Believe me, I was crying for 2 hours alone in that apartment. I was like, I cannot believe this, because I love my hope. I lost everything by that time. I mean, even my feet, believe me, it was kind of just with a bandage every time that I need to get out, because it was super sunny and it was so hot to be walking on heels around Brickell, to be rushing behind an Uber, letting them know that it was me, the one that they need to pick up, or even be lost in many different places. And I always had the chance to meet somebody. I always have the chance to be around the HR ABC organization. That was amazing for me, because they were always trying to help me in some way. And even though they were unable to give something else than their support was a key for me too. So all this story, it ended up being on the advice number 7 of we always have ways to contribute. Always, no matter if you're unemployed or not, no matter if you are disappointed, no matter if you have if you're going through a problem right now, if a person that you love is going through a health issue, you always have a way to help others. And be aware of your surroundings and help others is one of the most beautiful things in the world. And no matter how bad you feel about any specific situation, how down you feel in your life, you always have the chance to give others advice, whatever possible, but make sure that you always know this. My 8th advice will be follow your gut feeling. And this is the last one I can share with you today. follow your gut feeling, because it never disappoints you. Even though you take the wrong decision, but sometime, I mean, it is always a learning lesson for you. So just to end the story and make it even like the closer of this is basically, I got the job. I was hired as a trainee, even though I had already a lot of experience in human resources. I put my head down and I was like, yes, I know this is a new country. I need to build the confidence up again, and my name and reputation and everything. So I started as a trainee. 2 months later, I was reporting to the CEO. 3 months later, I was promoted to HR manager, and I was able to build the entire HR department for them in Miami. Okay. They decided to sponsor me with a work visa. I was selected during COVID-19 to stay in the US. And I was stamping my passport in Costa Rica. And I saw my mother after 3 years of not seeing her. And she was sick. She was sick. She was feeling bad. I'm only child. And that's the reason why I'm back in Costa Rica. I came to Costa Rica to stamp my passport, and I realized it was not the right decision to stay in the US. So even though I fight so much for that visa, I fight so much for that job opportunity, I needed to be here. And my mother was diagnosed with cancer, and we're going through cancer right now together. And that's the reason why I'm here. But what I can tell you is that I came with 2 jobs, not 1, 2 jobs. So I decided to come back to Costa Rica. My company in Miami was supporting me as well, and they understood that I needed to be here. So they canceled my visa by the time I just received my passport with my stamp of work authorization. And it was tough. It was very tough to take that decision. But again, the gut feeling was there. So you know what? I decided to come back, but I came with a job opportunity. So I'm providing services to the US right now. And I came with another job in Costa Rica. So I have been working for 8 months with 2 jobs, 1 part-time, 1 full-time. And a few months ago, I decided to quit again to my job because it was impossible for me to manage my mother's situation plus 2 jobs, right? And you need to be realistic, and you need to set your boundaries and make sure that you prioritize as much as you can. And the priority for me, for sure, was to be successful in life. But success is not linked to your job. Your success depends on the person you are and who you are and what decisions you take to make sure that people around you is a good health, in a good position, positive feelings, and you are doing whatever possible for people around you to be able to surpass whatever possible, right? So even though success for me by the time was to be in the US and be an HR manager, I fight a lot for that. Right now, I have success because even though I'm in Costa Rica, I'm still providing services to the US. And that doesn't mean that I will not be back at some point, right? So life is a lot of up and downs. And I hope that this helps you to take the right decisions and give priorities in life, but also to understand that we always have things to provide to every single person around you, even though you feel that you're the worst person ever, because that feeling is always there, right? It's always there. But I really thank Kelly to give me the opportunity to share this with you all. And I hope that this helps just in a small piece and provides you with the skills or tools or whatever needed just to continue moving forward with what you are looking right now. Kelly, all yours.
Guys, let's give Monica a beautiful round of applause. I mean, now you know why I wanted Monica to come on and share with the Coffee with Kelly tribe, because that is one hell of a story. And that's what we call the boomerang effect. When you give of yourself, even when you're feeling like you've been kicked down. Remember what we watched last week, the Budweiser commercial. Down doesn't mean done. Down doesn't mean done. And Monica, let me tell you, I can guarantee when you come back to the US, There's several hiring managers in this room. So I'm pretty sure you've got some people that would hire you on the spot.
Thank you.
I
Thank
love
you,
it, Monica.
Kelly.
Thank you so much.
Meanwhile, I am providing services from Costa Rica. So if somebody needs something from my side, I will be happy to support you. I'm going through my SRAM certification as well from here. And of course, I'm still coaching people, and I'm starting a project of kind of a nonprofit organization to receive donations to help others to go through all of these for free. So it is a lot coming, but so willing. And if you want to connect with me, no worries, it's for free. And if you need support, advice, or whatever possible, we all are here to help each other. And that's the reason why Coffee with Kelly, it is an amazing opportunity for you all to connect and take advantage of this amazing network.
Absolutely. Thank you, Monica. And I'm going to go, Leslie, great. I'm just so grateful you came in from Right Management today, because you coach so many job seekers. So do you see some of your clients here today in the room, Leslie?
Absolutely do. It's quite amazing. We've got the birthday boy yesterday, and I'm embarrassed to say that I didn't know it was his birthday, which is smack on me. Lisa Berg. I could go through quite a lot of people on the screen today that I definitely recognize. And I warned them if they were coming here, it's high octane. And oh boy, we didn't disappoint, did we?
Nope. We always try to, as Kelly Haas would laugh at me, but my maximizer always wants to make it excellent and not just average. So Kelly Haas, was today an excellent session? Come on in, Kelly.
Hey, oh my goodness, my heart is bursting. It was so good. And I don't know, I'm spiritual, so I feel God at work, because I was listening to Monica's story. And just weeks before this, I was thinking, I need to get in touch with Kelly Merbler. I'm really thinking about how to give back, and similar like Monica's story of, paying forward and helping others through their job search and just being, a one to serve others. And Monica, your story is incredible. Oh my goodness. I am just, again, heart bursting. It was so special to hear you talk and hear everything about what you're going through, what you've been through. So just wanted to tell you that it was truly amazing and an honor to get to listen to you. And Kelly, we'll have to connect soon.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, absolutely. And then that sends me, John Gregory Vincent, it's your first time in Coffee with Kelly. Do you feel it was a high octane session? Like, what are your thoughts here, John? What's your greatest takeaway? Come off mute.
Yeah, tell me to come off mute. I never actually do any of these things, so I'm not familiar with the technology, Kelly. The big takeaway is tenacity. I think you know this. We've known each other for a long time, that especially if you're an entrepreneur, you have to be too stupid to quit. You just keep grinding and grinding and grinding, and the whole world will tell you that you don't know what you're doing. And as long as you believe you know what you're doing and you have something to offer, it'll turn out okay. So yeah, I thought that was great, very inspiring. And we can focus on all the no's, but I prefer to focus on the yeses, even though the no's, as you know, outnumber the yeses about 5 to 10 to 1. So I enjoyed it. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So glad to have you. We're going to have John come back again and share a little bit of his story. So you will see John again. So stay tuned. Now, next week, Shelly, I think you put it in the chat, to continue the love for job seekers and hiring managers. Make sure you're registered. Invite anyone that you feel would love a high octane experience, as Leslie calls it. We've got 2 senior leaders in the talent acquisition space. One is always here every Friday, our beloved Dahlia Burak. So Dahlia, we're looking forward to seeing you next Friday. And she's going to be collaborating with Nicole Vinci Adamson, who is the director of talent acquisition at Chewy. You guys know the company that's all about pets, and man, they've got such a cool culture. So Dahlia and Nicole are going to collaborate. Ariel is going to help moderate on that one. So if you have specific questions, they're going to be talking about hiring trends of 2022, what they've noticed that has changed over the past couple of years, you know, how they've adjusted as hiring leaders. And then we want to bring job seekers in for you to ask questions directly to them. I know Chewy is a very high sought out company people want to work for. Blue Green always has great opportunities as well. So this is your chance. Come to the table, have your questions ready. Make sure you get them to Shelly this week. She can direct you to where to put those. And Monica, make sure you put your contact information in the chat so people know how to connect with you. And guys, you want to save the chat, just click on save and that way you'll have it. But Shelly, anyone else, or does anyone else want to leave us with a final thought? I will give one person something if you do, please, quickly. But if not.
Yes, Howard messaged me. No,
Howard.
he's off. Amelia Fritz. She just started at Artesia.
Oh, Amelia, are you there, Amelia? Did you want to say something? Welcome if you do. You may have lost her, but that's okay. You know what? Because it is the top of the hour and we will see you all next Friday. Kelly Haas, we need to get, we're matching. I got the memo, so we're matching. Have a wonderful Friday, guys. I will see you all next week in the coffee shop. It was so nice. We had 65 people here this morning. I love it, guys. Have a great day and God bless you all. Remember, sip happens, but that's why Coffee with Kelly is here. So let's go slay the day, guys. Put the word out that things are happening here in this coffee shop and grab someone for next Friday. Let's have a great time. I'll see you all next week. Bye, guys. See you all.
Take care. Bye.
Bye, guys. I know you all like to dance, so I always leave the music on for you. See you all. Happy Friday. Let's go. Next Friday is coming. Rick, your mug is on the way. You should be getting it soon. Monica, you rocked it. Monica, you rocked it. So I'll get you the recording. God bless you guys. See you later.